Good morning, good morning. I want to do an intro, just a quick one. Look at my beautiful wildflower garden. I planted this for the natives and I'm in love with the colors. It's so pretty. But anyways, today is August 7th. It's been a little over 2 weeks since I've been inside the colonies. It's 74 degrees. Feels so good. This week's weather has been actually pretty great. And the humidity level is below, get this guys, 80%. It's below 80%. It is 70% humidity. It's a gorgeous day. We're gonna be in the sun today for our inspections. Today's goals are space check. We're gonna check on Sharon's oil trays to make sure there's no more bees in her oil trays after we plugged it up and see what the findings are for that. And we're also going to check brood pattern for the queen. So we're gonna check that. It's August right now, so we're running out of time that if we have any queen issues, to fix those queen issues before fall and winter. So I think I said this in a previous video, but in beekeeping, you are always aiming for the next season. So if you're in spring, you're counting backwards from summer. All your things that you're prepping for summer, you're doing kind of in spring. When you're in summer, you're getting ready to prep for fall. Like you're counting backwards from fall, all the things that you need to get ready for fall, and so on. I'm in my work clothes today. These are my paint clothes because after beekeeping inspections, I am literally gonna jump into painting. I got some work to do. So it's work all day, day. So anyways, let's get started. All right, as I said, we're gonna be working in the sun. I'm trying not to complain too much though, because it is a decent day. So we're gonna go with that. While I get my smoker started, I was actually supposed to be out here a couple of days ago. But to be honest with you, I'm feeling a little bit burnt out in regards to beekeeping. Not the beekeeping itself, it's beekeeping during summer. Because today is a beautiful day. And I know I'm gonna be sweating, but it's not as miserable as beekeeping when it is mid to upper 90s with a humidity range above 80 to probably about mid 85% and higher of humidity level. It's miserable. It's miserable. And if you remember from my last videos, I was coming out here at 6:30 in the morning. I was prepping the apiary at 6 a.m. and it was still just miserable. It was miserable. So yes, I'm a little bit burnt out from beekeeping in the summer. I'm really looking forward to sorry, you can't see me now. I'm really looking forward to the cooler weather, to fall, to crisp mornings. I'm over summer at this point. This summer's extreme weather has just killed it for me. So anyways, sorry if I'm sounding like that. It's just, it was really hard getting out here. It was really hard. I'm gonna try this where I wrap the burlap in kind of a spiral pattern and see if that kind of helps make it last longer. I still have a lot of lavender stalks to use up. Those are jammed at the bottom. And then when you top it with the burlap, I feel like it makes a really good smoke. The burlap lasts longer than any of my dried material, like dried leaves, dried pine cones, dried lavender stalks. But it also, because it's such a thicker material, once you get down to the end where you are burning everything underneath and you have ashes underneath, the burlap on top keeps the ashes, it getting super hot up top and blowing ashes out at your bees. At least that's been my experience. So, which I really like. All right, so we're gonna start with Renee first because she was the sick one. And over time, I will say, it looks like her colony has figured whatever was going on with her colony, they've figured it out. There's no more dead bees on the ground. They look healthy from the outside. I came down here the other day and looked at every single one of these colonies, and I saw pollen coming in and out very frequently. So if I had to guess what the brood pattern was gonna be like on all of them, I would say it's probably gonna be super healthy. That's my guess. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood, but to knock on metal and granite. But I wanna say I think they're all gonna be super, super healthy. This is what I hope. This is what I pray for. And yeah, let's dive in. All right, cool. Here is Renee. No more dead bees on the ground, no more lethargic. Actually, we had rain not too long ago, and the rain looks like it washed away most of the poop that was on the slate. So I don't see any signs that look bad. They're kind of hanging out here on the front porch. Got some guard bees doing their job, and they just look really good. There's actually several guard bees. We have hit sort of a, as I mentioned before, a dearthy stage. I keep saying dearthy. I don't know if dearthy sounds weird, but early dearth. Is my mic keep hitting my hair? Okay, let's try and sticking a little bit. Yep, there we go. Sticking a little bit. All right. Got a few dead bees. Actually, no, they're not dead bees. Okay, there's a couple of dead bees. But this one right here is looks like no, it's not a yellow jacket. Thought that was gonna be a yellow jacket, but it's actually not. Let me take a look at this. She's really yellow. As if she's covered in pollen. How did she make it up here? There's a couple of dead bees, and I still have no idea how they're kind of making it up top. At least it's not like a ton. This lady looks like she's been up here for a while, but she's still alive. If she... No. I'll put you on the front porch, lady. I think they're getting in from a crack. Let's see if she'll... If they'll take her. They might just dump her off the front porch. We'll see. I think they're coming up from like one of these side areas right here. Anyways, let's check it out. Do a little B&E. Breaking in and entering. Not a lot of bees over here. It is cooler than it normally has been for summer so far, so. Yeah, look at that. I see, you know how bees don't really poop? Is that propolis or is that poop? That looks like poop. How would it be on the underside of the board though? That's interesting. They don't really count this space as their hive. They tend to like put debris and stuff on this side, so maybe I don't see a lot of evidence of it. There's none on the walls or anything like that. Just a couple of those spots on the underside of the cover board. Regardless, even if it did, it would fall through into the grates, into the oil trays. All right, hello. Gonna definitely pay attention to these ladies. Probably gonna break some beetle jails, which I don't want to do, but to get in I might have to. The beetles have loved to sort of live in the crack of the follower board because the bees can't quite reach them. We're gonna be trying quick about this because, as I said, oh, there's my mailman. We have reached somewhat of a dearth time, and so we don't want to spend too much time in their colony. They've got honey up to this edge. This might be the feed frame I gave them from the last time I came in here. Is the feed frame. It's the one that had the honey on it. And it looks like, yeah, looks like they're eating a lot of it. So that's great. They're actually using it. Some of it's still capped. Some of it they've chewed open. They still got some food left to go on this, so that's great. You know what I'm not seeing upon entering? Actually, I thought I would see some like beetles from beetle jails. Not seeing any. Not seeing a ton of beetles. So this must have been I left them a good amount of space. I might still see them down here, but it looks like I left them a good amount of space. This is an empty frame right here. Don't really care about that one. Would be great if they were building. Oh, looks like they are a little bit. I don't know if that's old or not, but this side, yeah, there's a little bit they've built up here, but not much. I do see a lot of beetles starting to see, the closer I get that way, the more beetles I'm seeing in the trays, so the trays are doing their job. They are looking very full. So I put these strips in the brood area, so maybe if I can get down to like one of these areas where the brood is. Now I can't expect there to be brood underneath the strips. The queens probably aren't going to be doing that. Regardless though, I should be able to check out the brood a little bit just to make sure that it looks healthy. This looks, I still don't see any beetles, guys. Wow, look at that. You guys are doing excellent then. Handling the beetles and everything. Wonderful. I'm gonna get down to this frame right here. Broken the small amount of bridge comb, and they're very concerned with the honey leaking out. Alright, so a small amount, yeah, there's brood, yeah, look at that. I see some K-wing. See, this one bee has K-wing here. I'll show you what K-wing is if I can. I think I've shown it before on my channel on here, but I will. This is where I broke the honey bridge, and they've really built this out. Oh, my queen's on the side, so I'm not putting this one down. I'm not going to take this one out of the colony, but the brood pattern looks great. She looks like she's doing a really good job. Every cell that isn't capped, that is going to be emerging, because this is an emerging frame, brood frame, has eggs and larvae in it. So she is doing her thing. I chose the right one. They still need to build out that bottom of this. Love it if they would build out this part. I don't know why they stopped. I don't know, but if you can see my blue dot queen, she's right there in the middle of the frame. So this is an emerging frame. It's got a bunch of brood that is going to be coming out, and every cell that looks empty from the camera actually has brood in it. She's just calm as could be. I want to put her back in so she doesn't climb on the honey and get smushed from the bridge comb, but it doesn't look like they're building on the one next door at all. Let me check out this side. Lots of pollen on this. Makes sense since it's right up against brood. And every cell, again, that's not capped has eggs and larvae in it. It's gorgeous. It does, like, I would imagine you looking at it from there, it looks shotgunish. It looks like shotgun pattern, but these are emerging. And like I said, every other place has eggs and larvae in it. I don't know, I wouldn't consider that shotgun. Yeah, this looks, let me look. I do see some balding brood, but it looks like even though they've, yeah, there's a little bit of bald brood going on, but it looks like they've what we call collared the cells. And that means that even though they've uncapped it, they're gonna continue on letting that brood come to fruition, come to maturity inside the cell, even though it doesn't have a top, which is pretty neat. Perfect. No, that's great. They still have, looks like 2 frames to build out. It looks like they're managing the space really well. I saw one beetle. One beetle when I entered it. It was on the follower board, and that's it. So I'm gonna leave them with the space that they have. They're doing great. Renee is done, and she did great. There's actually, yeah, there are some bees that look like they made it up here as they were trying to get out of their hive when they were sick, because there's actually poop on this insulation. Yeah, so they got up here to try and get out of their hive as well. They just weren't doing good, but I'm glad to see that they got it figured out. They're doing good now. All right, cool. We're done for Renee. Now we're moving on to Miss Lee. All right, Miss Lee, how you doing? How you doing in this summer? No dead bees, nothing on the slate. Guard bees look like they're doing a great job. I would close their entrances up more due to the dearth time, but they're all super strong and healthy, and they seem to be managing the opening pretty well. It's also, this cooler weather is not going to last. It's going to get back up again. It's summertime still, and I want to leave them a lot of space to be able to still do their fanning and air conditionings. But all of the hives pretty much have maybe an 1.5 inches of a door, so it's not that far open. Okay, we got some dead bees up here. And it's not just dead bees. It's parts of dead bees. Like, maybe there was ants up here and they ate some of the bees? That's really strange. Yeah, it looks like they did have ants at some point. I can see them in the newly poured oil trays. The same as I had, I think, with Renee. Actually, no, it might have been Miss Lee. Yeah, there were some ants, but it looks like the oil trays actually took care of a lot of the ants too, so that's good. A couple of small hive beetles upon entry. They look full. They are all the way to the edge. Let me show you, Dad. So that's the follower board right there. And the bees are just, I hope this is focusing because I can't see, but you can see the pile of ants right there and right there in the oil trays. But you can see the ladies are all the way to the edge for Miss Lee. Yes, girls, whatever tree resin you guys have found, doing a fantastic job. You know what I think that probably is? Probably them dealing with small hive beetles. Yeah, so there's a couple of small hive beetles here. They probably jailed them. And I broke the beetle jail. So that's what that propolis is about. There's only a few though, there's not actually a ton. Alright, this looks like one of the feed trays, or feed frames that I gave them. They're draining a lot of it. Good for them. Alright, so this looks like this side, but they haven't built out this side. Haven't really touched it. It's all food, nectar. And it looks like I see fresh frame on the frame next door, so they've finally started building a little bit on that as well. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, they started building it. This is the one I think had wonky comb on it, and I stripped it. They have a little bit here, but the rest of this is being built. It's normal, so they're doing a good job. And this side looks great. That's what they're working on. So they're still working on that. I don't see a lot of brood issue or beetle issues. Not as much as I had seen in previous inspections. I did leave too much space. That's eventually probably going to be a problem, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. They got fresh comb on this side. So they have built out this side. And it looks great. We definitely have some bridge comb. I'll show you what that looks like, Dad. Alright, so we got some bridge comb here, where they've connected. It's likely probably only at the top. That's where they like to do it the most. Just connect the tops together. But farther down, it's usually not that bad. We shall see. Let's get to this very middle. Let's say this frame. Let's get to this frame, and we'll check that out. Check out the brood pattern. Excuse me, ladies. Oh gosh, they got loud with that one. My goodness, this one? Yeah. So let's crack these and see if I can slide all these down at the same time. Excuse me, ladies. You're doing so good. An excellent job, I tell you. I'm so impressed. I tell everybody how impressed with my ladies that I am, because you guys are just excellent this year. Wow, look at that brood pattern. And then my queen's on here. Of course she is. They've definitely chewed up that oxeye. She's trying to get underneath of the strip. She's trying to hide. She's big. This queen is huge. Look at her. This is a big queen. I think Miss Lee has, out of my entire apiary, I think she has the biggest queen. Miss Lee is amazing. I'm going to zoom in on this. She's down here. But I'm going to zoom in and look at this. They've definitely chewed up this oxalis strip. But look at this brood pattern. It's beautiful. She hasn't done anything underneath the strip. It's a little hard to get underneath there. She's still wandering around. Look at her. Impressive. But this brood pattern looks wonderful. She's huge. That's a big queen. Good for her. All right, I'm gonna put her back in here this way. You're good, my lady queen. You're doing good. Your Majesty. We'll go real slow. There we go. And when I push back together again, I'll try and do it as one solid thing so I don't hurt her or anything. Sorry, ladies. I'm gonna break this bridge comb. I want to see one more frame. One without a strip. Although they still don't build where the strip hits it, but that's okay. Or build or lay brood, but that's okay. Look at this side. This is an emerging frame. This frame is an emerging frame. And we've got, fingers are sticky, lots of emerging brood, and any cell that's not capped has eggs and larvae in it. I already looked in there and I can see it's all laid up. All laid up and ready for the new generation. A little bit of bald brood, not much. There's a newbie right there walking around. Hello, newbie. There's another one. Yep, lots of newbies on this frame. We got another, oh, I was about to say another lady with K-wing, but just kidding, she tucked him in. She tucked her forewings in, so, or hind wings. Oh my gosh, that is a brand new bee. Like, that bee probably just popped out. Whew. That is a new bee. Yeah, this one's got a lot of beautiful new bees on it. Love to see that. Yep, this side's also emerging. Perfect. That's gorgeous. Broke some of the, this is the, where they're focusing on is some of the bridge comb that I broke. Look at that bee. She's big. That's a big, there's a new bee right there, but that bee right there looks bigger than the rest of them. Like longer. Isn't that interesting? She's got really pretty colors on her too. She's a fascinating one, isn't she? Sorry, I'm stuck on this bee. She's longer, a little bit longer than the rest of the ladies. The tergites on her back, like the stripes that she has on her tergites, are black and then blonde. But when the plates separate, like the tergites separate, the space underneath of that is like amber in color, like orange in color. So it's, oh, there's another one actually. Oh, what interesting genetics you have in this one. Wow, that's so cool. Look at all the newbies. I lost track. Oh no, there she is. Maybe I can show you what I mean by this one, Dad. The cool genetics in this one. Probably never get those blonde genetics back, but I'll probably always regret getting rid of those blonde genetics. Not getting rid of, but I sold her. But yeah. But these are really cool genetics too. Look at that. I'm gonna have to show you. See if I can find her. Isn't that cool? So I've got a couple of these ladies right here in the middle. See her her colors are black and blonde, you know, with their blonde hair. But when her tergite plates separate, you see it's got like an amber color underneath the plate. Isn't that cool? Tucks her wings in. Do you see what I mean? And the amber sort of like that peeks through, like the peekaboo amber color that peeks through is very striking. See, here's another one. Can you see her? Her colors are like got the black stripes. But again, when her plates move, it's like almost like orange underneath. Isn't that neat? Oh, they're doing trophallaxis. Aw, it's the three-way. They're feeding each other. Oh, they're so cute. Get your butt out of the way. The lady on the top. Get the memo. Move your booty. She's got her leg on my colorful lady. Move your legs. Her legs stuck. She's like trying to drag her. Yo, get your foot. Look at her. Get your foot off her head. There you go. Isn't that neat though? That is a really pretty bee. There's a new bee right there. Look at that new bee. Beautiful. Beautiful. I am obsessed with these ladies though. That is such a cool genetic. Look at all these new bees on this frame. Look at that lady. She's new. Yeah, we got lots of new ladies on here. Perfect. All right, I'm not gonna give them any more room because it looks like they still have frames out here to build. They're still good, and I think they're managing their beetles. There wasn't as many as I saw previously. The oil trays clearly are doing their job. The amount of space is clearly doing their job. And that's it. Wow. I think I'm losing my sweatband. But other than that, wow, these ladies were good too. Yes, love the good reports. Love having the good reports. That's kind of my favorite. Gotta separate these just a little bit, make sure there's no gaps. I know, lady, are you trying to get in? Look, I'll let you in through the front door. Come on. There we go. Back in. Back in you go. Alright, no insulation for you. And all the ladies are coming out. Come on. Yep. Come on out. Can you fly? There you go. Good job. Good girl. Alright, Miss Lee is done. Now we move on to Sharon. Always a good time with Sharon. Alright, we are on Sharon now. I'm gonna check our oil trays, I think, before I go in to the colony. I still have like these pieces of burlap sack shoved in the crevices, and they're still there. So I'm gonna take those out. And we'll see if I have any more bees. I'm already not seeing things that are promising. There's bees. There's bees in here. Oh my gosh. What have they been doing? There's so much wax cappings in here. Like a lot. Oh my gosh. I just cleaned these. Oh my gosh. I cannot look at the amount of wax cappings there is. What's happening? It's almost piled to the very edge of this oil tray. But the fact that there's still dead bees in here, that's got me worried. Wow, okay, so not great. This is not good signs. Not good signs at all. No, lady, not here. What that might mean is that somewhere I might have a hole. What is happening? We have got to get to about this area. Somewhere in this area in the colony, there's so much wax uncappings. I don't love that. Don't love that. And I don't love that I'm still seeing bees in the oil trays. Because what that might mean is that they have somehow found possibly a hole in the screen. And that's what I was hoping it was not. Because if there's a hole in the screen, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to fix that with a living colony in the hive. Not great news. Not great news, Dad. This plug popped out again. I don't know how to get this thing to not be popping out. Oh, there's bees in there. You shut your face right now. All right. We're gonna come back to that. Carol's also going to be an adventurous hive. We're gonna come back to that. We're not doing that right now. We're doing this right now. All right, no dead bees on the slates. Look like they're manning the front just fine. Probably less bees on the front than everybody else, which is surprising because they've been my strongest colony. But from the findings in the oil trays, not feeling great about that. Couple of little small little baby ants. Those little tiny ones. They don't have like a whole colony up here, but there is some up here. Couple of small hive beetles, yep. Alright, so now we have a serious problem with the screen thing. This looks like a feed frame, and they are all eating it. They are heads in, butts out, eating, eating, eating. What I'm really concerned about is somewhere around here. I want to get to here. So whatever I gotta do, I mean, quite possibly it could be just the wax cappings underneath of the strips. Maybe it's the strips causing that much wax uncappings. Not really sure, but not loving it either. Maybe that's a normal thing for underneath the strips, the OA strips. Should I slide those down or just take out one? Yeah, let's try that. This is a lot. Some of these weren't built the last time I came in here, and it looks like they are now. All right, I do see brood. So she has come down this way. She was laying in this new, it looks like, is that drone brood? Hold on, let me get a cover. It's got a little bit of weight, not much. I think this is all honey. This looks like drone brood right here, that they've decided to put some drone brood, so they still have drones being made. Next door is all worker brood. I can see it. This is mostly worker brood with a smattering of drone. I think that's very odd. I'm gonna be honest, I don't love the look of this. Why? Because you've got, normally they have designated spaces for drones. Drones are usually on the bottom or somewhere kind of out of the way. Do you know what I mean? So they've got, most of this is worker brood, but then they've got like a couple of drone right here in the middle. It's kind of strange. It's kind of strange. But it looks like she's got eggs and larvae all the way down to the bottom with the cells they do have built. Would love it if they kept building. It looks like they are touching it right here. So that's good. But yes, kind of odd. Kind of odd. Next door is, looks like all worker brood. Possibly emerging. I'm starting to think that maybe the wax decappings that I was seeing in the oil trays are from the strips, and it just freaked me out. It's just something that freaked me out, but it's probably fine. Next door, they're still building on this frame as well. Lots of new wax, and it looks like it's mostly honey. And I still see a drone in here. Look at you, big Michelin man. Still got a drone in here. So I think Sharon's hive might be the only hive that I've seen drones in so far. All right, we're gonna get down to like right here. This one right here, at least. So far, I've accidentally found the frames. I've picked the frames I wanted to get down to that had my queens on it. Purely accidental. These ladies have a lot more frames, so I doubt that's gonna happen again for the third time, but hey, you never know, I might get lucky. Might get 3 for 3. All right, let's check this out. Let's get a good eye on the brood situation. This is an emerging frame. Lots of newbies on this. Any cell that doesn't have a cap on it from an emerging brood has an egg in it. I see a queen cell or queen cup. I don't think it's charged. I don't think that it is charged. Trying to get the ladies. Nope, it's not charged. They have chewed the mess. Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is. I'll show you guys. I'll show you in a second. Let me just make sure my queen is not on here anywhere. Lots of newbies on this. Lots of newbies. Anywhere there isn't a cap, there's eggs. I want to show you guys that one. I'm gonna leave this here for just a second. Alright, so you can see the OA Varoxan strips. They have chewed. Ooh, they've chewed. This one's, the end of it's practically gone. And if you look down to the bottom, that's all the wax cappings and I guess the chewing of the OA strip. That's OA strip debris down there. They don't just chew it, they make it like fine powder. Like flour. Varoxan flour, basically. Yeah, and I still don't know where, like, I don't even know where I would start to look to see where a hole would be in this number 8 screen without there being, with there being a colony living currently inside of it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Thankfully, bees move upwards in the wintertime. I don't see it being a huge problem for wintertime with them going down into the oil tray area. Do remember that that goes back here. I'm gonna check out this one. And it looks like these ladies have, this is what they've chosen to do with the OA strips. The other ladies didn't, I mean, they're chewing on it, but not to this extent. Hold on, it's kind of glued to the other side. There we go. Yeah, wow, ladies. Okay, so that's what that is. Oh, we got some pollen pellets dropping off. Alright, so this is, we got a lot of queen cups underneath. Emerging brood on this. Good amount of emerging brood. Let's see the bottom, ladies. Let me see the bottom of these cells. I think it's milk brood in the bottom of this, so she's filled it. She wouldn't happen to be on this side, would she? No. Alright, so the brood pattern is good. It's not shotgunny or anything like that. I am concerned. Oh, the next frame over is beautiful. Solid brood pattern on that one. I might pull that one out too. I am concerned about these queen cups. So that is the second one. These ladies in this colony, they're also very strong. And what I've learned is that as a beekeeper, you're just doing what the bees are doing. When you're prepping for the next season, so are they. So are they. It might seem a little bit early to be focusing on spring and getting ready to swarm. I'm hoping they're not trying to swarm right now. That would be a dumb idea for them to do. But they have a lot of queen cups. They're not charged. And last year what I noticed was when at the end of the season, like towards the end of like summer, they were building a lot of queen cups as if they were just prepping for spring. Like, let's just build these queen cups now and have them ready for spring. Like, that's how they were operating, it seemed. Okay, this was a white frame, but they built it out gorgeously. Look at that brood pattern. Ignore the middle area because that's where the strip was. But that's beautiful. She's in here. I've seen eggs, I've seen larvae. She's doing a great job. Lots of new baby bees. Lots and lots of new baby bees. And the next frame over also looks gorgeous. Also looks wonderful. They also have some bridge comb up at the top. Not a fan, ladies. Not a fan of that. Alright, everybody move out of the way. I'm closing you back up again. Alright, here's the good question is, do they have enough room? They're still building on some of the frames down here. I might just leave them. I don't want to give them too much space. Before I put that back, actually, let me just check. Were there frames down here that they were building on? No, that is, whoo! There are a lot of bees. There's a lot of bees in this gap. But you know what I don't see? Small hive beetles. I'm not going to fix the Varoxan strips oil tray issue until it's time to take out the strips. There's no point because they're just going to keep doing it. So with these ladies, yeah, I'm going to have, for a third time this summer, I'm going to have to empty the oil trays. I'm so proud of Sharon though. She was one that was struggling the most. She's doing the best. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you have a cover on and you're working hives, your colonies, your calming cloth will look like this. These are a bunch of pollen pellets that the ladies came back to the hive, didn't know what to do, so they just sort of dropped them. Kick them off right on top of the calming cloth. They ain't got no time to waste. Well, maybe I can dump these back in here. Look. I'll put it, like, dump them on top. And maybe somebody can clean it up and put them into a cell. All right, let's close these ladies up. You know what? You know what? I lied. I'll give Sharon one more frame. Alright, however many frames she had last time, plus one. Somehow they're getting down into the oil tray, and it has nothing to do with the gap in the oil tray door. Don't love that. Because there's not really much I can do. With a living hive in there, can't fix the problem unless they're out. So I guess I'm gonna run the risk and just see if they make it through winter. If they make it through winter, I love that for us, because I don't want Sharon to die. If they don't make it through winter, then I guess I'll have to kind of take this thing apart and figure out where the hole is and fix that before putting a new colony in. Alright, now we are on to Carol, which already looks like it's fun times because she has bees going up into the roof. Let's go see what that's about. Alright, now we are on to Mimi. What an exciting day. Here I was thinking I was going through all the colonies super fast. I mean, I probably spent less than 20 minutes on each inspection, including Sharon's. And Sharon's colony is huge, but no. I get to Carol's hive. She always got that drama going. That's my drama babe. Alright, so I'm looking at Mimi's. There's nobody on the front porch. There's coming and going. They're coming and going. Lots of pollen coming in. But I don't see a lot of... Okay, they've started to kind of come out a little bit. A couple of guard bees, not that many. They're in the shade though, so they don't really have to keep their colony too cool due to the heat or anything like that. Okay, if they decided not to hang out on the front porch to keep cool, they've decided to come over here. That's what they're doing. The ladies are at the middle door. I'm gonna check their middle door just to make sure they're not chewing it. Let me slide this middle door open, if it'll let me. No. They're chewing off the paint inside the door. But as far as chewing under the door, like Carol did my first season, they're not doing it, so they're fine. Let me show you what the hive beetles are doing now in Mimi's hive. The ladies were trying to jail the beetles in this little nook in the hive. There's a bunch of beetles in there. So eventually the ladies will corral them in there. You see them? They'll corral them in there and propolize. You can already see the edging up here, and propolize that shut. And that will become the beetle jail where those beetles get entombed. We're going to do the same thing we were doing to the other hives and just sort of get down to the brood area, check the brood, and then we should be good. Turned the bottom of the cover boards like yellow with propolis. Let me just take a look at this side. Alright, so they're still working on this one, just slightly, down at the bottom of it. Brand new comb though, so they're doing really good. Look how gentle they are. We're entering a dearth, like we're early dearth time. They still are getting like resources from the spotter and lanternfly, but my ladies are so gentle. All right, so there's brood on this frame, and they're building it out. They're building this frame out, and we've got brood on this side, and we've got nectar on this side, and they're still working on it. Small hive beetles in here galore. Queen cup, not charged. I don't see any eggs. I see brood and larvae and stuff, but I don't see an egg, so I'm gonna keep going. I need to see her brood pattern, but if I had to guess, she looks like she's doing really good. Okay, so this is, there's a queen, another queen cup, not charged. This brood pattern, so it's hard to judge the brood pattern because it is under the strips. Some of it's under the strips. But look, this one doesn't have a strip on the other side, and this brood pattern is solid. So that's looking real good. Yeah. Yep. I might look out the one with the strip on it, but other than that, I'm feeling confident about Mimi as well. I don't feel like I have anything to worry about so far. Yeah, solid brood pattern. Look at the brood pattern on either side of the strip. It looks good. Looking good. They're not chewing theirs as much. The only thing I wish I'd like to see is eggs. I haven't seen any eggs yet. These are solid frames. Anybody want to show me some eggs? I love the solid brood pattern, but I would really like to confirm eggs. Alright, we got larvae on this side. Let me do a quick sweep for my queen. Alright. Right off the bat I don't see my queen, so... Alright, I see small larvae. I'm looking for eggs. Ladies. You got any eggs to show me? I can put you back in if I see some eggs. We've got some pretty young larvae, but I don't see any eggs. This is a milk. Whatever, they've got emerging brood, and whatever doesn't have cap on it is larva. There's some eggs. I see some small eggs up here in the corner. Very small. Like a small amount, I mean. Because she's just coming through and just laying it up. This side is pollen, and this side is brood. It's so funny. Regardless, you guys are doing good. And they still are working on the bottom of that frame down there. They still have comb to build down there. So yeah, I'm not going to give them any more space. I really like Mimi. I've always... Yeah, this colonies... I got good ladies. How about that? I got good ladies. Mimi's dealing with some issues because of the small hive beetle, but as you can see, she's handling it. She's tough. Hold on. Let me give them a second. They're going across this board and across the hinge and back in. This lady's doing a Nasonoff gland. She's doing great. I'll give them a second to cross. Thank you for taking your time, ladies. You could have done that at any point that I was in here. All right, Mimi's is done. Mimi's is done. She's a good girl, good, gentle girl. I'm gonna go check out this nuke and see what we can do with that.